How's it going, guys? It's Najam. Welcome back to another video. So in this video I'm gonna review the BlackBerry KeyOne, which I've been using for about 2 months. Maybe it's been longer than that. I don't quite remember when I got it, but it was a while back. Let's start from the beginning. So I moved from the BlackBerry Passport to the KeyOne, and unlike any other Android phone, I actually don't miss the BlackBerry Passport when moving over to this one. So, well, the only things I do miss is, kind of the form factor of the Passport, maybe the display and the speakers and, little things like that. But these stuff over here, the display and everything is not bad. But what I mean by I didn't miss the Passport is that this Android BlackBerry launcher is a lot better than what it used to be. I think when they started off with this, they've implemented a lot of the things from BlackBerry 10 over to this. So if you remember the BlackBerry Remember app, well, they've actually split that up into notes and tasks up over here. I'm gonna try to blur it out, but you have the tasks over here, which you can obviously tick off, and you put reminders on and all that. You got the hub, which I'm gonna blur out as well because I've got my emails on that. And a lot of the BlackBerry 10 features there are on this actually. The file manager that came with this is atrocious, so I didn't really use it. I got this CX file manager, and that works really well. I actually like this one better than the one that came with it. I mean, I actually don't miss the BlackBerry Passport, and that is the first time I'm actually saying that. When I'm jumping over to an Android phone. In 2019, this is a really old device and all that. Spec wise, it's not really the best. Again, it's got a decent mid-range CPU. I wish it could have been faster, but I don't think it even needs to be faster. It's fine. I don't have a problem with it. I mean, overall, the device is really good. The camera's good. The display is nice. The speakers are good. It's got USB Type-C for charging, and the design is nice. Build quality is decent as well, but there's just one thing. This is where it gets hot, and there's a kind of creak sound coming from that now. But apart from that, everything else is just a really solid device. It's got some weight to it. The design's nice. I mean, overall, I actually do like the device. It's a pretty solid device, but I think there's just one thing that I don't like about it, and I'll get onto that later on. I want to talk about the keyboard, so I'll just go ahead and open up Word over here. There we go, Word, right. I don't like this Word. I like the one on the BlackBerry 10, but let's make a new one over here. Okay, so this keyboard is a lot better than the BlackBerry Passports, I guess you can say, because it has a lot more features. So you can obviously do the swipe typing thing, which I almost never use because it's just a bit. I used to use this all the time on the BlackBerry Passport because that was just a flick up and boom, it's done. This one, well, actually where you can swipe, go back to delete the words that you've typed. But the problem is this bottom one is not as sensitive as the rest of it, and that's a bit annoying. So, and you can double tap and it'll bring up this thing, which you can actually, I think if you press shift, you can start selecting it and all that. I mean, it's just like the BlackBerry Passport. If you swipe down, which you've got the thingies that pop up, just like on BlackBerry 10. And if you press this button, or if you press these three lines over here, you go into this, and this is basically what the BlackBerry Passport is missing. So you've got the emojis, which I never use. You've got the keyboard settings, which you can jump into, and then you've got the select thing. This is much better than what you're having to use the keyboard. So you can press that, and then you can flip in, go up and down, select the words and all that, and this is just a lot nice. I'll go ahead and type a paragraph. I'm not really the best at typing on this keyboard. And you've got that, right, there we go. So you can actually select that, and then you can just select it all, and it's a lot better, and you can copy it, right? You can go all the way down to here, and then you can Shift V to paste it, right? And then if I was to go and select it again, where is it gone? Select it, oh flipping heck. Yeah, I mean the problem here is the word up is actually not all that good. I don't know, it's just pissing me off now, isn't it? Right, you can, I've actually enabled this in the keyboard settings. Shift C to copy. What in the freaking world has it done now? Oh, it's the other C, what the heck? Shift C to copy, and then you can just paste it. That works really well. Is this not on mobile mode? Okay, there we go, you can probably see that better. Now if you, this is why I hate Word. I like BlackBerry 10. You got the clipboard here, so you can actually copy and paste it. It's probably got, yep, all the other stuff. Now let me go on and show you the settings. Actually, I think I might be able to just jump into it from here. I never really do this, but if I think you hold this, it takes you to the keyboard settings. So over here you've got swipe typing, which you can enable on the physical keyboard. And I did try this. It does work, but I don't really like it. I'll show you how it works. So you can just try hello, this is well, that doesn't work, joke. It works, but I don't think it's the most accurate. Let's see, it does work. It did get all of that right, but I don't really use it. I don't know why, don't ask me. You've also got the other things. So if you go on gestures, you can obviously swipe down to get a symbol up. I actually took a look at this recently. I enabled that. I didn't actually have it on. You've got you also got the keyboard word substitution thing. So you can type like THX and it'll turn that into thanks, which you can you obviously have to put that in yourself. There was this other one as well, advanced features, where is it gone? I've disabled the dictation key because it's freaking annoying. Here we go. So use that key as a control key, so you can actually do control, undo and all that kind of stuff. That's pretty cool. So here's the physical one. So I've got a right shift, you can have a left shift as well. That's all. Well, there's probably a lot more than you can do, but that's all I've got on right now. Okay, so that's basically how you type on this. The other thing is with the BlackBerry 10 launcher, I mean BlackBerry launcher on Android, is you can have these keys mapped to an app. So you can press R for Reddit. I've got Y for YouTube, which is gonna ask for thumbprint thing. There we go. So again, it's not the fastest. You've got N to take notes, that goes into Word. You've got M for my music, there's that. You've got C is probably for calendar. Yep, there's calendar. A is for Amazon, and then E is for eBay and stuff. I've basically got all that mapped, and it works. It's really nice. What means that you can have a blank page with a nice wallpaper, then you can just tap a button to go into an app. But I find myself, when I'm typing, I don't really use this swiping thing. I just type and I click the freaking word that pops up. Now let me talk about the locker thing. So if you swipe down, you've got a locker. Now this is basically like an app locker or something like that. You can add apps here and it's gonna lock them up. So I've got these, so when somebody steals your device, which is almost unlikely, once they get to the password, which is again a thumbprint, or you can type a password, they're gonna, if they try to do something, they've got another one. But I mean, if they're gonna get in, they also got the finger in it. Chop your finger off, do whatever you want. Now let me get on to the bad stuff. So when this came, as you can see, the BlackBerry priority hub thing is disabled. That is in here. Somewhere, no, it's not in the display settings. And that's because if I go into Power Manager, where is that now? Power Center. If I go into memory usage, look at this. So if you have the priority hub on, it takes up 500 megabytes of RAM, which is absolutely insane. I mean, all the messages that are gonna go over there, they're gonna come on top over here anyways in here. So kind of really not really a point in even having that on. You can change the backlighting on the keyboard. I've got it dimmed down because I don't really need it that bright. You know, you've got all these. Why is this still open? That's the thing with this phone is that, and I didn't think it would have been a problem. Oh crap, now I can't take a screenshot. I don't use BBM. BBM's open for some weird reason. Okay, so the problem with this phone is that it's only got 3 gigs of RAM, which you might think is decent. I mean, that's what I thought. I mean, BlackBerry Passport has 3 gigs of RAM, and you can run like 8 apps simultaneously. This thing allows you to only run 1 app at a time, and that is crucial for me. Multitasking is just absolutely absurd on this thing. So you open 1 app, let's say Reddit, which takes up a lot of RAM storage. Obviously, if you have 2 light apps open, you can use them like that, obviously, but even then they actually tend to shut off when you open the Firefox, which takes up like 500 or some odd megabytes. Now if you go ahead and multitask like this, okay, that one doesn't spoil. Let's go open this then. Now if you do split screen, that's fine, right? You got 2 apps open over here. They'll work as long as you keep using them, but the problem is if you close all this, you've got like, you know, certain amount of apps opened, right? And if you switch between either of them, it just closes the other ones down, and it's so annoying. I don't know why it actually does this. Obviously it's because it has 3 gigs of RAM. Now this isn't BlackBerry's fault, it's actually Android. It's just taking up so much RAM. I mean, look at it. It's just weird. I don't know why Android needs this amount of RAM. I mean, this is a smartphone. This is not a PC or something, okay? I don't want to be running Windows on here, taking up 2 gigs of RAM and stuff like that. I want a smartphone that allows me to do stuff, and this one, it just takes up a lot of RAM. So you see, the problem is the industry keeps moving, right? And now the trend is to get as much RAM as possible, because apparently if you don't have enough RAM, you can't multitask, and it's so annoying. I mean, I'm browsing Reddit, I come across a new word or something, and I want to go search what that means, right? Because English isn't my first language. I open up Firefox, or even a link to a YouTube video from Reddit. Reddit closes. When you open it up, it goes right to the top again, which is so annoying. I mean, that's the only problem I have with this phone, really. You close Firefox, go back to Reddit, and that thing's like going to the top, so it's so annoying. Then you go back to Firefox, and that's like opening up a brand new blank page. It's really annoying, is that. I mean, there are other little things as well that I don't like it slows down a little bit. It's not exactly a really fast device, and I mean, again, I like really fast devices. I'm not gonna exaggerate that. I think everybody does, but this thing does slow down a little bit at times. Now let's talk about the battery life, which, I mean, it's USB-C. It takes not a long time to charge. It does have fast charging, but I don't think I even use fast charging. I don't know if I even have a charger that does that, but it doesn't take a long time to charge. You can obviously use USB Type-C stuff like a hard drive or whatever. I don't know if that's going to power it, but it's going to work. You got the headphone jack, so you don't need to worry about having to charge and listening to someone at the same time. The battery life on this, I mean, I guess the reason they chose this CPU is that I've deleted IDA 64, so I can't really show you, but it's 8 cores, right? The reason they chose the CPU is because it uses low power, and it saves some power instead of just going full whack. That's fine. The only problem is I still have to charge it every day. So again, if I'm interviewing you or some interviewing BlackBerry, why on earth did you even choose the CPU? I mean, honestly, I have no problem with it. It's fine, right? But if you're trying to save battery life, why don't you just put a bigger battery in there? Because nothing's really gonna change it. I mean, like, how far do you think you're gonna be able to go to just get a little bit of more battery back? Not much, is it? Instead of just making it thicker, I mean, I don't mind thick devices. There's obviously phones out there with massive batteries and they're like bricks, and they're for certain people. If you're gonna sacrifice on some CPU like that, again, I'm not really complaining all that much. I'm just saying it, making it sound exaggerated and all. But really, there's not a point sacrificing the amount of CPU power that you've sacrificed to get like what, another 15 minutes of battery life, because at the end of every day I have to charge it, because it's on like 20%, which is fine, because if you don't charge it, the next morning you wake up, you're gonna have to charge it at that time anyway, so might as well just charge it. So that's another thing. The BlackBerry Passport I could last 2 days, but this can't even last one, or if I use it really heavily. Now one thing I'll just touch on this now. This keyboard is not the best. Now the BlackBerry Classics keyboard is the best I've used. It might not be touch sensitive and all, but it's the most clicky and it's just the right size. It's actually bigger than this. This might be the smallest BlackBerry keyboard I've used. Yeah, believe me, this is smaller than probably like the Q10 which came out, and that was like, when I first got it from the 9900, it was massive, but it's actually a lot smaller than the others. This key, I have no problem typing on it. I can feel like more than one key at the same time, but even then I get the right key when I'm typing. It's not the clickiest, but it's actually a decent keyboard. At least it has other functions like copy paste and all. That is just absolute nuts. Yeah, that is good. Probably the Key2 much better, because it's got 6 gigs of RAM and it's probably gonna solve all the problems, but 3 gigs of RAM is actually not a lot. I mean, I thought it was enough. It's enough in, if you really think about it. I mean, you don't even need more than 512 for a mobile phone. It's just that Android just keeps pushing it. Even new updates taking more and more RAM usage, and it's unnecessary. That's the thing, is you don't need to do it. You just want to do it because you want to call the money. Anyways, let me know in the comment section below what you think about it. I'm actually going to use this, but I am wanting to get a different phone now, and just kind of get rid of the keyboard, because you got swipe typing, and honestly I'm fine with that. When you're typing emails and all, this does come in handy. If they're coming out with the next KeyOne or something, I'll tell you what to do. Get the BlackBerry Passport back in, make it a 3:4 aspect ratio, and then make it wide. Okay, make it like a decent big device that you can actually type on. This thing is a little small in my opinion. Anyways, whatever. Let me know in the comments what you think, if you have any questions, stuff like that. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again in another video.